Hello, Sarah Rose Gregory, also known as Parent Veteran, talking today about that lovely old subject of toilet training. I hope you can hear me over all of the banging. I've got a huge hole in my kitchen at the moment. We're having work done. So yeah, hopefully that's not going to interrupt this video too much. So I'll just go on. Haven't actually dealt physically with toilet training for a while because my youngest is 4 and she was one of the earliest ones to not use a nappy anymore. I think she was ready before I was ready for her to toilet train, which was quite interesting. So I really had to follow her lead. With my other 3 children, they all kind of toilet trained around the same age of 3. Whereas she was just after 2, not that much after 2. And I was like, woo, because I was expecting it to be at 3. But it just goes to show you that age doesn't really matter. It's when you're developmentally ready. And I've had 4 different experiences of toilet training. I don't want to call it toilet training because I never did any toilet training per se. Well, I suppose there's an element to it, but it was more, I don't know, I don't like the concept of training. But anyway, I will think of another word hopefully by the end of this. If not, then whatever, we shall have to use toilet training. Sorry, I'll stop going on about it now. But yeah, I know there's quite a pressure on parents to start looking at this around the age of 2. And you can see it in books and advice, and other people are doing it as well, other parents. So you're like, oh, I should be doing it too. But what are they following? Are they following their child telling them that they're ready, or showing signs that they're ready, or have they read it in a book? Which I find quite interesting. So I think that you can't look outside of your home when it comes to toilet training. You have to look to your child, whether they can communicate. So it doesn't mean they have to be able to talk, but can they tell you that they need to go to the toilet? They're feeling it. Do they not really want to wear a nappy anymore? Are they showing disgust at wearing a nappy? There's various different signs that children give you when they don't want to wear a nappy anymore and they're ready to use the toilet. There are lots. Oh gosh, this is a minefield now. I'm thinking about it. I don't want this vlog to go on forever, but now I'm thinking, there's all this you can do. Obviously, I haven't really thought about this in depth. I've put down some bullet points and I'll try and get through all of those. But yes, the one thing that if your child, like when my daughter around the age of 2 decided she wanted to be toilet trained, then I had a potty downstairs, a potty in her bedroom, and obviously there was the toilet that was accessible for her. She had like a stall. So she didn't even really need to tell me that she wanted to use the potty. It was her decision because it was accessible for her. Another thing is that when you've got a nappy on, you don't, especially if it's disposable nappies over cloth nappies, because with cloth nappies, after a while, you're more likely to feel it against your skin and feel uncomfortable. Whereas with disposable nappies, they soak it all up. So you get the sensation of needing to go to the toilet, but then you don't necessarily know what's happened after that because it's all been soaked away from you. So training pants are quite a good idea if your child is ready. They're kind of like pull-ups. They don't really hold a poo, but they would definitely hold a wee, not more than one wee. And it gives your child that ability to take them off, up and down, so they can go to the toilet. And you can show them how to use the potty. You just like walk them through it, sit them on it if they're comfortable to do that, but you don't have to make a big deal of it, and you don't really have to make a big deal of it when they use it. It's just like, oh great, you view that, because it's a natural thing in life to use the toilet. I think sometimes making a big show of it can be quite harmful, especially in the other context, as if they have an accident and have a mistake because they've got pants on and they wet themselves, getting quite angry with them, or you should have used the toilet, that it all kind of feeds into the same I don't want to say anxiety, but sometimes it comes across like that. I mean, it feeds into the same ends, good or bad. There's like no in between. Whether it's as if parents, we have like a measured response. Oh, you went to the toilet, great stuff. I'm going to clear that away now. Oh, you've had an accident. Fair enough, it happens to us all. I'm going to clear that away now. It's the same. There's no difference. And they're learning, so they are going to have accidents. So you do need to have changes of clothes. Going back to the age thing, I don't necessarily think that there is a right age. I think it's good if your child can communicate with you, so it's not necessarily too soon. But then that's not for everybody, because you have the thing called, and I think it's called elimination communication. I tried it. I haven't tried it for a few years because my daughter I tried it with is now 10. So I was more interested in the concept rather than achieving elimination communication. For those of you that don't know, you probably know about it. It's been around for like ever. It's about your child never wearing nappies from babies. They like never have a nappy on, and it's about reading their cues, so you can hold them over the toilet or over the sink or over the potty to go to the toilet. So it's about reading your child at the likely points when they're going to need to go, so they never have really that reliance on a nappy. I don't know if I'm making sense with that. It's worth googling, it's worth reading about. It's really interesting, and I was just really interested to see, I remember with Emily, to see if I could read her mind, or I could communicate with her when she was like 3 months old. And you know what, it did work. I'm not gonna diss it, because it totally did work. But I didn't, as I had more and more children, I use nappies. So, and a mixture of cloth nappies or disposable nappies, whatever you want to do. More ones that are less harmful for the environment, obviously, are the better ones. But, you know, sorry, I'm not digressing totally with that. But, yes, so elimination communication, it's worth Googling. Google is your friend at this point. Right. What else? Oh, and great things to have. Carry Me Potty. We bought my daughter for a birthday present a Carry Me Potty, so it was hers, and she could walk around with it. She could own it. It seals shut tight when you've used it, so there's no leaks. But it was hers. It was her own personal toilet that she could carry around, and it was all really fine, and she loved it. So it's like empowered her in a way. So yeah, a Carry Me Potty's great, and I'm sure the potettes have got a bit better. I think we had a potette initially and it wasn't that great. It was like little bags attached. But I've seen some other potettes, and all these things change, so it's worth looking them up. There's always new ones on the market. But a Carry Me Potty is one of those ones that still shuts and you carry it around like a bag. So yeah, that was great. And obviously I've mentioned training pants as well. I think they're definitely worthwhile investing in. But yes, just using the toilet as well. I hope I've covered everything. I think I have. I was just trying to have a look at my notes. But yeah, questions below if you want something specific answered. I definitely have done quite a lot in terms of getting my children to use the toilet. And actually, a really important point before I go was that what I noticed is that because they were ready, they had less accidents. Whereas I saw parents whose children that they were training, so it came from the parents more so, they were more, I think they were having more accidents because they weren't necessarily ready. But I don't want to critique that too much, because you do what you do as a parent and what feels right for you and your child. And we all get to the same point anyway. They're ready when they're ready. And that means that you can spend a year or two training them to get to their ready point, and then they do it just fine. Or you can wait until they're ready and not do anything for that 2 years, and they're ready and there's no accidents. But what I noticed is that when my children were ready, they were also ready to not have nappies on at night. So as soon as they took the nappies off during the day, they took them off at night as well, and there were no accidents. So it's worth considering waiting till they're ready. And that's all from me. I hope you're having a lovely Tuesday. And I shall see you if you like my videos, what you've heard. Don't forget to go and have a look back at some of the other ones. There's a variety of topics. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.